in Seattle and played a little semi-pro in the Central Hockey League. So just a little background on me. Alright, so I have three big questions up here we're going to start this with. Alright, first one, what is the most important piece of equipment? I talked about it last time I was up here, so if anybody that was here would know. What's the most important piece of equipment?
The stick.
Your stick, why?
Because you can make because then when you direct your make a stick save, the defender can pick it up easily.
Yeah. It helps control 90% of your game as a goaltender, right? Okay. So that's why I'm a firm believer that your stick is the most important piece of equipment that you could have, because you can control the game with it. Okay? How important is skating as a goaltender?
Very so you can develop different skills, yes.
Skating, goalies should be the best skaters on the ice. I'm a firm believer of that. Right? Because you got to be able to move side to side, quick motions. You got to know your edges. I think better than players, because you got to know how to push off of them. You got to know how to stop quickly. Right? Okay. So skating is very, very important. Very important. What are a goaltender's jobs on a team? Anybody? Real.
Stop pucks.
Stop pucks, yes, that's a job. What else? No? The goalie is the most important piece of your team, right? He's your backbone. Everybody know what your backbone is? Yeah? Your spine, right? He's the most important piece. Yeah, you need to stop pucks, but as a goaltender, you also got to know how to control a game. What do I mean about controlling a game?
When you're a goalie, you can see everything, so you can tell your players where to be.
Yeah, you can tell them where to be. I call that being a what? I was here last time I said it.
Quarterback?
A quarterback, right?
Yeah.
A goalie's just like being a quarterback on a football team, because you can see everything. You can dictate what goes on, right? So, goalie, he needs to stop pucks. He needs to dictate what's going on. He needs to control the game. What else? How about mental aspect? Because if a goalie,
It needs to be the most positive.
most positive, right? Because
Because we let one in, and we're just like, oh, we're going to lose now because they let one in. The rest of the teams are pessimistic.
perfect, right? So if you give up a bad goal, it never happened, right? And you turn around and you're like, oh, what does your team think now?
You're in trouble.
Oh man, right? Hey, so that's why you got to be positive too, and mental aspect of the game. Okay. Any questions on any of those? No. So we'll come back to the skating aspect. All right. As a goalie, when you're skating, do you think you need to skate in your pads all the time?
No.
All right. You don't have to all the time. You guys got open skating, things like that, right? That'll help your skating. I would do it in your goalie skates. I used to do power skating in my goalie skates with player gear on. Right? So skating is very, 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 very important.
So it's best to do it in your goalie skates.
I would recommend to do it in your goalie skates so you can get used to them and the edges and stuff. Unless you're really good at going back and forth. I know it's hard though, because goalie skates don't have the ankle support, so you have to strengthen up your ankles for the skating aspect. Alright? I would also recommend doing it in your pads, because you also got to learn how to skate with your pads on, right? Because they're bigger, they're wider, you got to learn to do the same movement that you do without your pads with your pads on, right? Yeah? Okay. Let's see here. We'll go back to stick saves. Okay? Stick save. When I'm making a stick save, where do I want my hands? In front of my body, right? Making any type of save with my hands or my stick, where do I want my hands? Out in front, right?
Yeah.
Why do I want them out in front of my body?
You can track it.
You can track it in, right? It's just like baseball or football. Like if you're playing catch, where do you catch it? Right? Being a goaltender, if your hands and everything's out in front of your body and you don't control, like catch it and control it, the puck drops. Where does it drop? In front of you. Now you can control that, right? Blocker save. When I'm making a blocker save, do I want to punch at it or do I want to rotate my wrist so the puck goes in the corner? Rotate your wrist and the puck goes in the corner, right? Yeah. You guys been working on all this up here? Yeah? Those are very, very important. Okay? Those are basic skills. Your stick and glove saves and all that type of stuff. But even at the next level, they still do those saves day in and day out with their goalie coaches. I work with my goalies for the first 10 minutes. That's all we work on is stick and glove and blocker. All right? Next thing, what's the biggest piece of equipment you got?
Like that. Chest pad.
Chest pad, right? Chest pad is probably the biggest piece of equipment. So if I get my hands out in front and my sticks out in front and I move into pucks, what am I using? Your chest pad, your biggest piece of equipment, right? I want to try to use my chest as much as possible. Or at least get it behind the puck as much as possible. Because the puck's not going to go through your chest, right? Well, it shouldn't go through your chest.
Unless you're Swiss cheese.
Right? Unless you're Swiss cheese. Okay? So, moving into pucks is very crucial as a goaltender also. And that's where it comes back to the skating aspect. Right? Because you got to be able to move into the save. You got to be able to move into pucks. Right? Any questions on that? No? So that's going to be some of the stuff we're going to work on. We're going to review glove blocker, stick. We're going to work on chest. We're working on cradling pucks, so we're controlling rebounds, especially to our chest. If a puck hits us in our chest, we should never give up a rebound. All right?
Don't you want to trap it?
You want to trap it, so you should never give up a rebound if a puck hits your chest. You know what I mean about chest, right?
Yes.
Where? Somewhere in this area, right? Chest, stomach, shoulders. That's a different story. Those are harder to control. Right? But anything here, down to here, I should be able to control. I should not give up a rebound on those type of shots.
And if you have a rebound, don't you want to cover it or push it to the corner?
You do. That is very crucial. That's where it comes down to being the quarterback, right? Managing the game. Okay? So if I make a glove save and my team's dominating and I had 3 shots on net, do I want to cover it or keep the puck moving?
Keep it moving, keep it moving.
Keep it moving, why?
Takes away.
Because you're dominating.
Because you're dominating, you have all the pressure, so you go back the other way, right? What happens if it's vice versa and you're seeing 15 shots already and it's been 8 minutes in the first period?
Cover it.
Every time you get the puck, what do you want to do?
Cover it.
You want to cover it, right?
Unless they're not inside the blue line.
Yeah. But still, if you're seeing a lot of shots, I want to cover it. What other thing, when you're on the ice, what other things you need to recognize as a team? As a goaltender, when your team's out there? Line changes, you need to recognize what D are out there, right? Everybody knows who the weaker D are, right? Weaker forwards are. So if you know all of that, and you're getting dominated, and you're all of a sudden your weaker D come on onto the ice, what do you think you should probably do?
Focus more.
Well, focus more, but probably freeze the puck so you can get your top line out there because you know they have their first line out there, right? That comes back to learning how to manage the hockey game. As a goaltender, that's being the quarterback. You guys understand that? Yeah? Any questions on that? Any questions about anything we've talked about so far? Yeah.
You had mentioned last time about with managing the game, like if the puck's coming into your defensive zone, how you guys communicated to the defenseman about maybe going up the side quick or D to D. I forgot what you said was the command about going quick up to the short side.
Oh, so some of the things like if a puck's coming down and your D's coming out and he has somebody coming hard on him, you can either yell quick up, which I these are the things that I tell my goaltenders, it can be different. A quick up is where you come, the defenseman gets that puck here and it's quick up the boards that way. So that's quick up, okay? Or you got wheel. So these are all the things I tell my goaltenders, wheel, or if your D picks up the puck here, you can wheel around the net, okay? So with that aspect, if your D's here and he's picking up the puck and this forechecker's right here, what do you think you want to call?
Quick up.
Quick up what?
Because you can get across the
Because he's coming quick up that way. Because your forechecker's coming this way. Right? Now, if your forechecker's coming this way, right, that's your forechecker or your D. What can you call? Wheel. That tells him he can wheel the net. Right? Or, what happens if a guy's coming hard here and a guy's coming hard here? What do you think you can pass, right? So you go D to D. So then you can yell D to D, which tells this D he needs to go back there for a D to D pass. Right? Because can this guy see what's going on? If he's skating this way to pick up the puck? Can this guy? Because a lot of the time this guy's probably skating back this way too, right? A good defenseman would probably turn his feet and face up that way. But we can't always rely on our D to do that, right? But we're always facing this way. Okay, so we can see everything. So, those are some things. We got quick up, you got wheel, or you got D to D. Alright? It could be different. You guys can have your own things. Those are the things I talk about with my goaltenders. I know they have weird names for them too. Like they have fire, and fire's the one where it's a wheel. That's just so the other team doesn't know what they're talking about when they're forechecking. Alright? Any questions on that? Any other stuff on that? No? Alright, so we'll go to how do you prepare for a game? What do you think you do when you prepare for a game?
Eat a light snack and then just get ready.
Eat a light snack, get ready. So 20 minutes before you're on the ice, do you do anything? Do you juggle? Do you stretch? Do you... Yeah, it's totally... Goaltenders, everybody gets ready differently, right? But there's options where maybe you go sit by yourself, stretch before you get on the ice, so you're ready. Juggle, if you can juggle, if you learn how to juggle, become a good juggler, works on your hand-eye coordination, and it gets you ready, right? What do you do?
Like stretch anything that hurts or feels tight.
Okay, so stretching's very key, right? As a pregame, I would recommend trying to learn how to juggle or doing something like that to get your eyes and everything warmed up before a game. All right, I know it's hard. Maybe even if you have another goaltender, play catch with him. Grab a football, grab a baseball, grab a tennis ball with your glove, play catch. It just gets you ready and gets you focused for the game. Right? Like I said, everybody does something differently. Get a ball, you can do it to yourself. Right? And you can have a coach, you can stand in all your gear, you can throw a ball and you can go down before a game. Right? But is that the coaches to do that or is that you? You guys, right? You can't make sure you can't let the coaches, because they have too much other stuff going on, right? So if you need help getting warmed up, whose responsibility is it? Your job, right? If you want to become a better goaltender, if you want to be ready for the game, right? Okay, any questions on any of that?